Okay, we're going to get into doing some mock drafts today. Today we're going to do a 10 team. I know a lot of leagues are doing 12. We're just going to do a 10 team. If you want me to do a 12 team, just leave it in the comments and I'll get right to it. But for today, we're going to do a 10 team league. I'm going to do it from the 1, the 5, and the 10. There's not a lot of diversity between the 1 and the 5 and the 5 and the 10. So we'll start there. We're going to do PPR, snake, two quarterback, two running back, two wide receivers, a flex, defense, and kicker. Before we get started, though, just get into strategy. There's a lot of them out there. When it comes to two quarterback league, I like to go quarterback right off the bat, no matter where I'm picking from, and then take my quarterback, my first quarterback, and then reevaluate your strategy as I go on. But I usually go quarterback, or running back, quarterback, running back, quarterback, and then I'll go by value after I go through all those positions. So we'll go ahead and get started. I like using Fantasy Pros, that way I can dictate the format of the league. It's just easier to do it that way. Okay, you see here we have these are the suggestions based off ADP. I usually go off the suggestions for a little bit and pick, because usually they're best player available. So for my first pick, I'm going to take Dalvin Cook. And now I will get off the suggestions for all, and I'll go to the running back spot, because that's what I want to do. As you can see, I got Dalvin Cook over here. Now I'm going to pair him up with Gibson. Now here, there's Joe Mixon and Hilaire. Your wide receivers are Hopkins and Ridley. I don't like taking wide receivers this early. And so what I'll do is I'll take my first quarterback, which is Russell Wilson. And now what I like to do is I like to go back and pick another running back, because you have that flex spot down here. So DeAndre Swift, James Robinson. If you don't know, Swift has been a non-participant in any preseason. He's not played. He has not participated in any of the practices. So he's a little risky here. I like James Robinson now that they lost a running back for the year. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take James Robinson for my flex play. Now we got a quarterback and three running backs. So what I like to do is I like to go back and check quarterbacks here. Hurts, I like him. I don't like him this much due to the fact that they just picked up Minshew, and Flacco's been playing a lot of the preseason. So I'm not sure how that situation is going to work. So I think I'm going to pick my first wide receiver here. So we'll go CeeDee Lamb. I like CeeDee Lamb this year with Dak being back. Now I'll check quarterback again. Again, not a big fan of any of these quarterbacks. If the talent's there, you can take your quarterback. If the value's not there where you're picking, then don't do it. Just wait for your second quarterback. I like Mike Davis. I don't like Gaskins. I could take Mike Davis here, but I think the value I'm going to get is tight end. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Andrews, so I'm going to take Hockenson here. Solidify that tight end spot. Now see, they're 92% on Pitts here. I don't need another tight end right now. Nobody's touched a quarterback yet, so we can wait on that. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take Mike Davis. I'll take T. Higgins and knock out that second wide receiver spot. I think the value is better there. So now I'll go back and check quarterbacks. Matt Ryan's gone. Kirk Cousins. Okay, so I like Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is my QB2. I would have took Tua, But Kirk Cousins in that offense, I like it better than Tua in his offense. So now we got all our starting rosters except for our defense and our kickers. So now we'll go after the bench. And usually you just take best player available here, depending on your depth. You got 3 running backs and only 2 wide receivers. But with running backs being the way they are, Henderson's the pick here. Get yourself a couple extra running backs just to make sure. Now with J.K. Dobbins going down, Gus Edwards is a very good pick here. Very good pick. In the 10th round, I'll take Gus Edwards all day. Number 1 running back. Okay, now we're going to have to decide what we want to do here. You got more than enough running backs, so now we're just going to take value. Because now you're just looking for depth to go with your starting lineup. I love Logan Thomas. Let's see what we got. Okay, Tua's still sitting there. So I'm going to jump on Tua for my 3rd quarterback. Now I don't have to worry about quarterbacks anymore. Now the value is going to be a wide receiver or tight end for me. I like Marvin Jones. Let's see who's sitting there at tight end. Logan Thomas. Love Logan Thomas. He sat there long enough. I'm going to take him. Okay, now we're good at all our positions except for wideout. So I'm going to take another wideout here. I like Marvin Jones. There's a lot of good picks here. Parker could be a number 1. Elijah Moore is going to be pretty good in that offense, but I think I'm going to take Marvin Jones here. Now, what I like to do is start my kicker and my defense. Pick them before I pick that very last pick. That way, you want to start the trends. You don't want to follow them. So I'll check here. Usually I'll take my kicker first. Defense is, let's see, Washington. Probably your kicker's probably, yeah, the kicker's going to be the way to go here. We'll take Justin Tucker. And then we'll go run back to the defense. I'll take the Ravens all day. Now your last pick can just be a sleeper pick, a shot in the dark. Alexander Madison. Let's see. If you want, solidify your team with another quarterback. It's a 2-quarterback league. You never know about Tua. So you know what? I'm going to take Sam Darnold. Like if I need to, I can always go back and pick another wideout. I got a B+ in this case. It's not a bad lineup. Good depth at running back. So you see I went running backs first because that is the position to get. You want depth at running back. So you can see here, I started at the 3rd spot, which ain't bad. I know I was going to start from the 1st spot in the 5th and the 10th, but I'll just start with the 3rd because you know what you're going to do with the 1st. So we'll just go 3. How's 3, 6, and 10 go? So the next draft we'll start at the 6th spot, and then the last one we'll do the 10. You know what you're doing in the first pick. You're going to pick McCaffrey all day. But then you're going to follow back and do your another running back and another quarterback. That's just my strategy. I think it works out pretty good for this kind of draft, the 2-quarterback draft. So now we'll get out of this. Let you take another look at the board here. Cook, Gibson, Wilson, Robinson, Lamb, Hockenson, Higgins, Cousins. That's a pretty good start lineup. So now what we'll do is we'll get out of here. We'll go back. We'll set this up for the 6th spot. And we'll get this draft started. Strategy for me is still the same. 2 quarterbacks, it's always going to be the same. You're going to take your running backs, get good depth at your running backs. Now see, here at 6, I got Derrick Henry, Elliott. I really love Elliott this year. I think he's going to do better, but I can't pass on Henry. So I'm going to take Henry. Okay, now I love Eckler too, so I'm not going to pass on Eckler. So I'll take Eckler there. Now I'll come back and now get my quarterback. It looks like the number one quarterback is Rodgers. So yeah, I'm going to take Rodgers here. Now I'm always looking to fill that flex spot before I fill that second quarterback spot. So I always love to fill it with a running back. I just went over Swift, so I'm going to go Robinson here. The volume for Robinson is just too good to pass on. Now here's a hard one. Chris Carson, he's the 78% pick here. You can't pass him up. It'd be a good idea to pick him. If the value is not there, quarterback, which it isn't. To me, it's just not. I'm not going to take a chance on Hurts and Burrow. I can wait later and get a Carr or a Cousins. So I'm going to fall back, and I'm going to take Chris Carson. Notice I got that extra running back. Now I'm going to either pick a wide receiver or a tight end. Cooper Kupp's at 30%. And Hoggenson's the pick. Now I'm going to decide what to do between the quarterback and the wide receiver spot. After you get those first 4 or 5 picks in, it's all going to be based on value at where you're at. Ayuk is a 46% chance to be picked here. I need that second quarterback spot filled. I think I can wait. So I'm probably going to go back to wide out. And take Ayuk here. Like I said, after you get those first 4, 5, 6 picks in where you got your base roster, then your strategy is going to change based on value and ADP. Who you value. So here I need a second wide out or a quarterback. The second wide out's Robbie Anderson. I don't like the value there. So yes, I'm going to go after Kirk Cousins for my second quarterback. The value's better at this pick. Okay, now I need that second wide out. Right, and I didn't miss anything because I have Anderson still there. I'm going to take Anderson and fill that in. Now I'm just going for depth. So my weakest part of this roster is going to be the wideouts. So I'm going to take a couple wideouts here to solidify that depth. Now here I can wait on wideout. I like Boyd in that offense. So now I'm looking for either running back depth or tight end depth. I don't like any of those running backs where we're at. So now I'm going to check tight end. You can usually get good tight end depth. I'm not a fan of Goddard. As long as Zach Ertz is there, he's not going to get the volume. I can wait and get Tonyan later. Gesicki's not a bad pick. I'm going to wait and see if I can't get Tonyan on the return. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to take my third and final quarterback. Well, we got that position solidified, and we don't have to worry about it any longer. Okay. Now we're just looking for best available, to be honest with you. The quarterback position is solid, so I don't need that anymore. So it's either running back, wide receiver, or tight end for the next 2 picks. I like Antonio Brown here, but I'm going to take Antonio Brown here. Now I'm feeling better about my wide receiver depth. Again, I can take another one right here and just sit pat with the running backs that I have. See if there's anyone. Well, I'm going to go back and see if Tonyan's still available. No, Tonyan did not fall to me. As you can see, that was passed on. Goddard was passed on again. I think I'm going to take my third and final quarterback here. Now I need to pick a tight end in that last spot just to get another tight end on my roster. You don't need another tight end on your roster. There's always room to go back, especially in a 10-team league, to pick up one on your bye weeks or on the waiver wire. So you don't need another tight end on your roster. I just like having two. So what I'm going to do here is I'll pick my kicker, my defense. Usually you pick your kicker first. It's pretty. There's a lot of talent in the kicker pool. I mean, there's no big deal, especially in a 10-team league. But I just like picking them before I pick my defense. This is just you don't have. I'm just picking the top players available here, at their position. I'm not thinking about it. I'm just doing it. If you want to spend more time on your defense and your kicker, go ahead. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Best available in those two positions, that's what I'll take. Here I'm just going to go to all. Marvin Jones is still there. See Tyler Higbee still sitting there. I'm probably going to take Tyler Higbee to solidify the tight end spot. And there you go. That's from the 6th spot. This was a B-. Your running back strong. Very good quarterbacks. The weakness in this is going to be your wide receivers. Your tight ends are nice, but it's not a losing team. If you wanted to take this route, I always believe you got to get your running backs. Running backs. I don't care if you take 3 running backs off the board and then take your quarterback in the 4th round. But you got to pick up at least 2 solid number 1, 3 down running backs. If you don't, you're going to miss out on them, and you're not going to be able to do it, and you're going to be kicking yourself in the butt that you didn't pick up your running back earlier. Okay, now we're going to go to the 10th spot and see what kind of roster we can put together from there. Okay, change this to a 10. And I always like the first pick and the 10th pick or the last pick in the draft. That way you can roll those 2 picks over and you don't have to wait to see what your next player available is going to be. So we'll go ahead and start this draft. See what kind of roster we can put together at the 10 spot. Okay, looks like our number 1 running back here is going to be Ekeler. As soon as this pops up here. Okay. Let me get this started here. I will take Ekeler. As you can see, Adams is still there, Murray is still there. But like I said, I like taking my running backs early and then trying to put together the roster after that. Now, being it's back to back, I'm going to show you this strategy. And either you can go with it or you can decide to go another way. Now, I'm not a big fan of Barkley. I don't think he's going to play right away. So I'm going to jump down here and I'm going to take Antonio Gibson. I like him in Washington's offense. I think he's going to do pretty good. He didn't do bad last year. So now you're sitting here at the 10 with 2 running backs. Let me show you the quarterback depth. It's not that good. I know that Tannehill, Hurts, and Brady are sitting there, and you'll be able to get one on the turnaround, so it doesn't matter. But I'm going to stick with the strategy here. 3rd pick's always a quarterback. So I'm going to take Herbert. And then on the turnaround, now you might be tempted to take your 2nd quarterback here because you got a long way to go before your next pick. Don't do it. Just take your running back, put him in the flex. Hilaire, Montgomery. I'll take Hilaire. I'm not a big fan. He's injury prone, and there's a lot of depth there now. McKinnon's been playing pretty good in the preseason, so I don't know about that pick. Montgomery's also been a little, I wouldn't say injured, but he's had his problems in the preseason already. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Montgomery because of the volume. Now what I'm going to do on the turnaround, because I don't have to wait, so I know the next two players are going to be mine, so it doesn't matter. Here I'm not too happy with these picks here at quarterback, so what I'm probably going to end up doing is taking another running back and then my first wideout. Unless there's a better tight end sitting there. Which, tight ends are hard to come by. Wide receivers, not so much. So I'm going to wait on wideout, take my tight end. I like Hockenson over Andrews, so that's what I'm going to do. And now we got the turnaround. Now I'm going based on value for me. That second quarterback is a good value, so I'm going to take him. Keep in mind, I have not taken a wideout yet, which I will do now because I cannot wait any longer. And this is the problem with this strategy. You're going to be weak at the wideout spot, and you're just going to have to solidify it with some depth on your bench. And I'm fine with that. Out of all the spots on my roster, I want to be the weakest. I want it to be wide receiver. So I will draft T. Higgins here. But now I only have to worry about wide receiver. So if I want, I can take Brandon Cooks here for my second wide receiver, or wait. I'll take Brandon Cooks here. He's a 42% pick. I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to go based on value for me. Fields, Tua. Either I can wait on my third quarterback or I can pick him up and get it over with. As you can see, I got two quarterbacks on a bye. I don't worry about the bye. But for this situation, I'm going to take my third quarterback. Now, the value is I like Trey Sermon, but as long as Mostert's healthy, which is a very big question mark, I'll take Sermon. Now I'm going to wait on that. Now I'm going to pick up a couple wideouts. I'm going to pick up Curtis Samuel, and then I'm going to pick up another one. Because my positional weakness is wideout, that's what I'm going to take. I'm going to load up on wideouts. Now what I like to do is I like to set the trend. Take the first kicker off the board. And then come back around. Take my defense. And then that last pick will be whatever I believe I need the most. Since I have two and two guys on a bye at quarterback, I can either take another quarterback or I can come back around and take another tight end. I don't need another tight end. There's more than enough depth at tight end that I can pick up off the waiver wire. So I'm probably going to pick up another quarterback here to help me with my bye weeks. Sam Darnold's the pick. I mean, I like Bridgewater because of his the team he plays for and the talent he has around him. I would not pick Jared Goff. I don't think he's going to be worth a crap. So I'm going to take Sam Darnold here to finish out this draft. See what kind of grade we get on this one. I got a C+. As you can see, again, because we're at the 10th pick, you got 2 solid number 1 running backs. But then after that, you can see how the talent falls off at the running back spot. Montgomery's the number 1, but he's too iffy. There's too much that can happen in Chicago. And then Sermon, who knows if he'll play or not. I'm sure he'll get some snaps, but the volume's not there. And then you got to worry about your wideouts. I don't know how. I mean, Higgins is good. I don't know how much he's going to get if Burrow's not throwing. Or if Burrow's not 100% yet. Cooks, you don't even know who his quarterback's going to be. It's probably going to be Tyrod Taylor. Because they're talking about trading Watson. So there's a lot of question marks on this roster. So the 10th spot, the talent is going to be slim. So I'd recommend that you get your players when you want them. Because based off of this, I still recommend you wait on your quarterback till the 3rd or 4th round. Pick up your 2 running backs. I didn't take another quarterback to the 7th? Oh, yeah. 7th round. And then I didn't pick up another one until the 10th round. So, of course, I had to make up for the 2 bye weeks, and I picked one in my very last pick, but you can do that. I recommend sticking to the strategy of running back, quarterback for 2 quarterback leagues. And it's the same with the Superflex. I'd use the same strategy. But with the Superflex, a lot of guys recommend that you wait for your 2nd quarterback like you would in a 1 quarterback league. I don't recommend that. If you're going to plug him in a Superflex, you want him to be just as good as a running back or another player you're going to plug into your flex. So don't consider the Superflex a throwaway spot for a quarterback. Pick a good quarterback. Do the same exact strategy. Pick another quarterback. Pick your first quarterback up in the 3rd round. Pick your 2nd quarterback up around the 4th or 5th round. That way you solidified that Superflex spot. And you don't have to worry about that spot anymore. Because after you wait and you don't choose your 2nd quarterback for those spots, I know the talent, it's a major drop-off, but just consider if you don't get your good Superflex spot, the running back is gone by that point. The talent is so bad when it drops off after your 4th or 5th round, you're not going to want to put another running back in your Superflex spot. So get the quarterback you want, even if you have to reach, because that's what you want to do with that spot. Well, I hope I shed some light on this. If you want me to do a 12-team league, I will. Just leave it in the comments, and I'll get back to it. I am going to do a Superflex league. Maybe I'll do that a 12-team league, and then we'll just do the 1, 6, and 12 spot instead of coming back and doing a 10-team league. A lot of leagues are 12, some are 10. You hardly ever see an 8. So, yeah, my next video will be 12-team league, Superflex, and then we'll pick from the 1, 6, and 10, 1, 6, and 12 spot. So we'll do that next. I'll get that out soon. So please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, please leave them below. All right, till next time.